Hi everyone, thanks very much for joining me. Hopefully you're joining me for this part 2 video, having seen the part 1. If you're a new subscriber or a returning subscriber, then thanks very much. This has been a bit of a strange couple of weeks for me. Now, some of you may have seen the video I posted about a week ago where I found 34 Blu-Rays for $10 from a local lady. That's quite a strange event to happen. Now, a lot of those titles were quite common titles, but nonetheless it was a great find. Now, this last weekend when I was out thrifting, I don't normally come across Blu-Rays too much, or if I do, they're very common titles that I'm not interested in. But this weekend was a little bit different. Again, some common titles, but just a lot of Blu-Rays, and a lot of them were sealed as well. So obviously part 1 video, I've done all the DVDs that I found, but yeah, let's now get into these Blu-Rays and I'll show you what I found. First up, quite extraordinary to find a 4K here, unopened, of Top Gun. So yeah, I'll actually be looking forward to testing this out on my player. Now, as you may have seen for some of my other videos, I really don't have many 4Ks. I've only got 2 now to date, the other 2 being Aquaman and Hacksaw Ridge. So yeah, this will now be another one. But yeah, Top Gun was a film that is still very memorable to me from having seen it at the cinema. It was a packed out cinema in 1986. I was only just able to get in on the back row of that one, but I still can picture it being in the cinema at that time. It was such a really exciting event because of the sound that you got in the cinema at that time, and just how enjoyable it was. I mean, all the soundtrack and everything. It was a great film to watch. So yeah, I'm quite glad to have this. I do have the DVD here, and I actually have a couple of different versions on Laserdisc as well. So yeah, I'm a bit spoilt for choice now on Top Gun, but yeah, I'm very glad to have this one. And then I picked up The Secret Life of Bees, and this is directed by Gina Prince-Bythewood, who has directed Love and Basketball, as well as the excellent The Woman King that came out just the other year with Viola Davis. I really enjoyed that film. So yeah, I look forward to seeing this. I know, who was it, Del on Movies has just recently picked this up as well, so yeah, go and check out his channel. He had some good finds the other day, Del on Movies. Out of Africa. I love this film, and I've actually been very close in Africa to where Karen Blixen's farm was. I actually went back in the 90s on a big long trip through Africa, and I went to this little island very close by to where she lived called Lake Naivasha, where you can just walk around amongst giraffes and deer and things like that. Nothing dangerous on the island, but yeah, that was a really amazing experience. But yeah, Out of Africa, I absolutely adore this film, directed by Sidney Pollack, and you've got Meryl Streep and Robert Redford there. Really glorious film. I have it on DVD, but yeah, nice to now have the Blu-ray. Bit of music now, and it's Elton John at 60. He keeps going. I think I saw him actually in concert several years ago, which was meant to be his farewell concert, but yeah, he's still rolling on. But yeah, this one should be good. It's at Madison Square Gardens, and if you want to pause this, just look at that amazing set list. I think this DVD goes on for probably over 3 hours, but yeah, glad to find this. Next up, Sealed, The Big Lebowski. What a great movie this is, and I do have it on DVD. Yeah, that's my DVD edition that I'll be retiring now, but yeah, The Big Lebowski, fantastic. Next up, and it's possibly the greatest Western of all time, or certainly the one that has the most fantastic opening sequence. Yeah, Sergio Leone's Once Upon a Time in the West, with that amazing role there for Henry Fonda and his piercing blue eyes in that. Yeah, incredible film. Really, really love this one. There's my DVD edition of it, which I will no longer be needing. Quite a funny DVD edition this. I mean, it's quite thick, but when you open it up, just the 2 discs crammed together there. But yeah, nice cover art on that one as well. Next up, and it's Passage to Marseille, starring Humphrey Bogart. This one's still unopened. This film reunites him with some of the same cast from Casablanca. That includes Claude Rains and Sidney Greenstreet and Peter Lorre. Another Warner Archive title that's unopened, Edward G. Robinson and Ida Lupino in The Sea Wolf. And then this one unopened, Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron. I wasn't wowed by this one, I guess, when I first saw it, except it does have that exceptional fight sequence on the stairway that's kind of done as a one take. That's really, really good. So yeah, I'll look forward to seeing this one again, and I do think Charlize Theron is probably right up there as being one of the great women actresses who can do strong action scenes. She's very good at it. So yeah, I like this one. Next up, and it's a couple of William Castle films. William Castle did the film The House on Haunted Hill, but here we have Hollywood Story and New Orleans Uncensored. Not familiar with either of these, but yeah, I look forward to watching this. Next, unopened as well, it's Kevin Costner in For Love of the Game. I've not seen this one before. I really do love Field of Dreams. I actually saw a premiere of that in 1989 with the director Phil Alden Robinson when it was at the Brighton Film Festival. Yeah, I'm not hugely into baseball, but I will certainly enjoy seeing this. I do enjoy watching Kevin Costner movies. Next, very pleased to find this, and it's unopened as well, but The Black Stallion, directed by Carol Ballard. You can get this in the Criterion collection, but yeah, this is a wonderful film. Carol Ballard is probably one of the best directors of doing movies that involve animals. He also did the fantastic film Never Cry Wolf, set in Alaska, and as well as the film Duma as well. But yeah, this one is absolutely beautiful, with cinematography here by Caleb Deschanel, who worked on The Right Stuff. It's written by Melissa Matheson, who wrote E.T., produced by Francis Ford Coppola. But yeah, this is a really wonderful film. It's gorgeous to look at, and just a really fine adventure. And that there is my Laserdisc edition of it. Next up, it's Clint in The Eiger Sanction. Not one of his best films, but enjoyable nonetheless. And again, this one's unopened. Also unopened, Richard Linklater's Everybody Wants Some, which is his kind of 80s slacker kind of hangout movie. So yeah, Richard Linklater, a bit of a master of doing those kinds of films. He did Dazed and Confused and Boyhood and the Before trilogy. Next up, unopened, and it's The African Queen. Very pleased to find this. A very nice looking edition there. And this finally means I can perhaps retire this freebie DVD that I got with the Times newspaper many, many years ago. Next, absolutely great film from the 70s, 3 Days of the Condor. Really like this film with Robert Redford and Faye Dunaway, directed by Sidney Pollack, and a great menacing role as well for Max von Sydow. Next up, it's a John Wayne Western, Hondo, perhaps not one of his classics. The director on this one is John Farrow, so not one of the, if you like, prestigious Western directors like Henry Hathaway or John Ford, but yeah, nonetheless, Hondo. I do like John Wayne Westerns. Next, this one's unopened as well, The Zookeeper's Wife with Jessica Chastain and Daniel Bruhl, a Polish wartime movie that involves moving refugees, I think, through a zoo. Not quite sure of the exact story. I think it's based on true events, but yeah, I've not seen this one before, so I look forward to seeing it. Next, absolute classic film here. This one's still unopened, but yeah, In the Heat of the Night with the great Sidney Poitier. I do really enjoy this film. I do already have it on a DVD edition here, as well as this great Laserdisc as well. But yeah, I don't mind having it in multiple formats. It's a really superb film. Followed up, of course, by They Call Me Mr. Tibbs and The Organisation. And you can get In the Heat of the Night and They Call Me Mr. Tibbs via Criterion Collection and also via Kino Lorber. Next, Dressed to Kill, Brian De Palma's great thriller that starred Michael Caine and Angie Dickinson. Really good movie from the 80s. Next, Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. I mean, I have these on DVD already, but yeah, I just thought this was worthwhile getting just to perhaps replace the DVDs. And then finally, Martin Scorsese's filmed concert of the Rolling Stones, Shine a Light, which he did in IMAX. I did go and see this, I think, at the cinema. Yeah, pretty good concert. Obviously, there's loads of different Rolling Stones concerts that have been available over the years. The one to beat, I think, is still Gimme Shelter, which you can get through the Criterion collection. Really fascinating concert, as well as being a bit of a documentary as well by the Maysles brothers. Check out the history on that one. It's very interesting if you are not aware of it. But anyway, shine a light there. So there you go. Thanks very much for joining me. Like I say, that was a bit of an unusual weekend to be able to find all those Blu-rays, and many of those unopened as well. That's very atypical. Yeah, great fun nonetheless. I'm sure if any of you already do DVD or Blu-ray thrifting, you know the excitement of just sort of going into a place and not knowing what you might find. It's really quite thrilling. Anyway, I don't always do haul videos, so please do join me again for discussions on other movies. I mean, I will be talking about all kinds of movies on this channel, sometimes doing a spotlight on a particular film, sometimes reviews on a bunch of movies that I've recently watched. I will also be doing a couple of director spotlights as well. So yeah, please do come back for some more. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it's interesting. See you again, I hope. Okay, thanks very much. Bye-bye.